You're investing the wrong way. Here's what I wish I knew about investing in my 20s. Not coming from a multi-millionaire or billionaire, but maybe something attainable for you in the short term. A cozy 6-figure entrepreneur who built up an investment portfolio now worth $600,000. So a very common mistake that I was doing is not having an emergency fund. So saving 3 to 6 months of expenses before investing. That can be very daunting, the idea of having that. The sooner you start being able to build it, the sooner you'll get there. One way you can do it is don't save what's left after spending. Spend what is left after saving. So prioritize that saving. Whatever it is, make that be the first thing you spend your money on, as opposed to shopping or other things that you don't really need. This one, I'm surprised more people don't talk about this, but starting with low-cost index funds or ETFs. That's an easier way to start investing. So basically, instead of picking stocks and doing all this background research into companies and trying to project whether they'll perform or not, you buy a little piece of a whole bunch of companies. And it's all automated, so the fees are super low and they follow a market index like S&P 500. So I'll link to some down below that are really easy to get started. And you can literally get started with $5 or $10 a month. I mean, just look at this graph of what a difference investing just $5 a day can make over time. Like, say you got started now, let's say you're 22. By the time you're 62, you're at almost $500,000 just by setting aside something you might splurge on at a coffee shop each day. You're not late. The best time to invest was yesterday, and the next best time is today. Investing is way easier if you do this first. Pay off your high interest debt and prioritize credit cards or loans first. Don't try to invest your way out of a high interest debt hole. But notice that I said high interest debt. If you have very low interest debt, like a mortgage, maybe your student loans are very low interest, then it can actually pay you off more to invest money, and then you'll have more money to pay that loan off faster. But you do have to be careful with that. I would say the best, most underrated thing you can do is using tax advantaged accounts. So prioritize your IRA, your 401k, everything that you can get at work or even on your own. Just max that out and your future self will thank you. Just look at this pie chart about how the rich build their wealth. Their actual salary is such a small percent of it. Those investments can be huge, especially over time. And don't invest in what you don't sort of understand. Try to choose investments based on your comfort with risk, but also understand your money and where it's coming from. So just at the very least start tracking it, because you can't manage what you don't know. And when you're starting to invest in things, if you are going to pick one company, make sure you know that company in and out and you really believe and know that it's going to increase. So that's a little too future forecasting for my taste. So I just invest in index funds. I max out my retirement account. I work for myself, so I don't have a company match, which would be great, but I rather work for myself. So just make sure that whatever you are investing in, if it requires research, to do the research and start tracking now. Start tracking now. What gets measured gets improved. These are exact screenshots of my budgeting and cash flow. Once I started doing this, once I started just tracking how much money I was making and how much money I was spending, that alone, the tracking what I was spending, made me get into so much better habits and saving so much more money because I just became that much more aware of what I was doing with my money. You'd be surprised how knowledgeable you can get once you track. And then once you do that, then you can start making budgets and you can start allocating to what to save for, what to invest for, building that emergency fund, for instance. You can see what are you spending so much on that you don't need to anymore that can just go to an emergency fund instead, for instance. And next is how important it is to automate your contributions. Set up regular automatic investments, because if you have to think about it, you'll either forget or you'll want to prioritize something else. You don't need to be rich to invest. You just need to be consistent. And if you can set it and forget it, pay yourself via savings first, and then pay your fun present self after, you'll be in a much better place. The best ways to accumulate wealth is to make it automatic. And this is something I wish I knew earlier too. Set clear goals. Know what you're investing for. Because if you're just investing just to invest, then you're going to be more likely to quit, or you're going to be more likely to spend it on something else. But if there's something that you really want that's expensive and you're building for it, next time your favorite clothing store is having a sale, you might be like, actually, I might pass because I really want that condo right by that big park. I'm going to pass on that really cute matching sweater and pants. Another common mistake is not diversifying. So spread your investments across different assets to reduce risk. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't put all your hopes in one stock. That's not investing, that's gambling. And that's why I love index funds. I used to use Betterment because it's so much more user-friendly, but now I use Vanguard because I think the return is better. But they're both automated and they both invest a whole bunch of stocks for you, and you kind of automatically that way are not putting all your hopes in one stock. The next is don't sabotage yourself. Avoid timing the market. Focus on long-term growth, not short-term gains. Time in the market beats timing the market every time. For instance, just across 100 years, the market just steadily goes up. There's many ups and downs, but it's not up and down like this. It's up and down like this, steadily increasing. So don't sell your stocks when it's right here. If you can wait long enough, it's gonna go back up. The next is just never stop learning. Whether it's reading books, finding a mentor who's accomplishing and doing what you want to do and learning from them. There's just always so much to do, to learn. Okay, so with all that information, what are you gonna do? I put together a checklist for you to do that you can do within the next 24 hours. Take a picture of this, take a screenshot. First, you're going to start tracking immediately, at the very least for 30 days. So you can find out how much money you're making and how much you're spending, most importantly. Next is you're going to create budgets. Once you've figured out how much you're spending, ideally it's 30 days, 1 month may be different. So you can create a budget off of 1 month and then say, you keep tracking for the next few months and then you can adjust that budget. And you can see are you spending way too much eating out? Are you spending way too much on shopping? Do you need to scale back? Do you need to change your shopping habits to maybe just shop quarterly or only during sales? That was something I had to do. And then max out your workplace investments. If you have a 9-to-5 right now, email your HR department right now and make sure that you are completely maxed out on that Roth IRA. If you've got your own Roth IRA, go online, go on that website that you have it in, and just check to see if that's maxed out. And if you don't have one yet, and I'll have a link to each bullet point for this to-do list in the description. Next is automate all your payments. Make sure that all your bills, your credit cards are automated. Basically, pay your future self before you pay your present self for fun. And if you haven't already, open up an investment account and automate funds to it. Okay, take your screenshot. Did you do it? Now that you've gone from beginner to investor to practically intermediate, congratulations. YouTube is watching you and thinks that you'll like this video next.